Hey, welcome to Score on Business. I'm Pete Hendricks. I'm your host today, an entrepreneur, and we want to see you succeed. As an entrepreneur at Score, check out scorenashville.org. Our first guest today, Bill McCleskey, is founder of Mitech Partners, and he's an author, wrote a new book. His new book, which is Get Off Your Assets, he writes about how he started Mitech Partners, and they've done very well. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so I'm glad that you wrote the book because I've watched Mitech Partners grow. So with your new book, one of the things you talk about is work ethic, 8 to faint.
Yes. Work ethic is key. You know, when I first started Mitech Partners about 5 years ago, I didn't have a lot of money. I didn't have a lot of resources. I didn't have a lot of contacts, but I did have work ethic. You know, I wasn't afraid of hard work. So I knew that I had to put in the sweat equity to produce the results that I wanted. And a lot of times when you start a business or in the startup world, a lot of small business owners believe that you need all these other resources when in reality, the best resources are within you. And work ethic is definitely one of them.
Yeah. So what are some of I think that's a really good point, that the best resources are in you. What are some of the other things that you think about there?
Well, I talk about them in my book, Get Off Your Assets.
Yeah.
So
hold that book up where we can get a good look at it.
There it is.
Yeah. So, okay. Yeah, tell us about it.
So one of the chapters is actually about work ethic and working 8 to faint. I kind of coined the phrase 8 to faint, but because when I first started, I was making calls and trying to get clients and set appointments.
We were in the same building. I watched you.
So I mean, it was a regimen that I went through, but I was always challenging myself because I felt like, hey, just because I'm tired or just because I'm exhausted doesn't mean I should stop working. And I had to push through those perceived limitations to really get the results that I wanted. And I really surprised myself because a lot of times we just put the barriers on ourselves. But that asset, and what I talk about in this book, these assets are within us, and one of them is work ethic. We can produce great results if we just put the work in.
And it doesn't happen by itself.
Exactly. So a lot of times we're basing what we should be doing, our activity, on what everybody else around us is doing. So if we just challenge ourselves and see ourselves as competition, you know, and try to compete with yourself, you'll be surprised at what you can accomplish.
Yes. So discipline pays dividends.
Yes, that's one of our values in our business, Mitech. But discipline pays dividends because what that really focuses on is eliminating distractions. Okay, in this world of technology and social media, and you know, we're always distracted. The smallest thing will distract us. You know, a pop up on our phone, or Twitter, or Instagram, or somebody walking outside walking dogs. I mean, oh, let me look at the dogs. Well, what I had to do in my business was say, hey, I had to block out 2 hours at a time to focus on one activity. So let's say it was prospecting from 8:30 to 10:30. If I was prospect, that's all I was doing. I wasn't checking voicemail, checking email. I didn't take calls from clients, even if they said, hey, I'm ready to move forward. I said, listen, for these 2 hours, I'm going to focus on prospect. I even told my wife, I said, between these 2 hours, don't call me unless it's a crazy emergency. But I think in life, that's the message. You know, we have to be disciplined with our mind and focus on an activity to get the result.
You know, there's been research that has shown that executives, the time where they plan ahead, they schedule time, and they stick to that, it pays.
Absolutely. And it's the structure, you know. I was just mentioning to you earlier, I just started a new sales guy this week, and one of my main messages to him is structure. You know, you have to structure your day every single day. Otherwise, you know, you're going to get distracted.
And then that brings up another thing. Every job, no matter what you do, has things you don't like. For salespeople, it's often prospecting. But yet that's the most important thing. So, you know, that discipline
absolutely
helps you get it.
And the discipline is sometimes, you know, I have a saying that discipline kicks in when motivation wears off. You know, so sometimes we can be motivated to do something on Monday, but Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, we're not. But that's when discipline kicks in. You may not be motivated every day or every hour of the day, but you still, you know, get in the habit of doing things. And successful people have the habit of doing what they don't feel like doing all the time. Unsuccessful people, they don't feel like doing it and they don't do it.
Yeah.
But successful people don't feel like doing it and they make it happen anyway.
So with your way of doing, do you set productivity numbers or key indicators?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, you know, I believe in tracking your activity, and not just tracking your monthly number or weekly activity. I'm talking about daily activity, because the secret is really in your activity, your daily, your habits, you know, what you're doing every single day.
Yeah.
So we have a tracker in our business at Mitech where the sales guys, we know how many calls they make, we know how many appointments they set, we know how many follow-ups, how many emails they sent out.
Yeah.
Because we can look back at a month and say, okay, this activity produced this result. So if we want a bigger result, we need to increase this activity this much. So it's really a science to it. It's not rocket science, but it's simple.
Yeah, and to kind of put that in context for folks who aren't familiar with Mitech, gaining new customers is kind of really what you all do. All companies have to do that,
Absolutely.
but the sales function is very important for you all. And what you're talking about is tracking the, you know, sales is a numbers game.
Absolutely.
And what you just described is that you're keeping up with those numbers.
Yeah, you got to keep up with your numbers. You have to know your numbers, and you have to know as a business how you attract customers.
Right.
You know, so it's not an accident. You know, customers aren't just going to flock to you. You're not going to be a magnet.
Oh yeah.
On accident. So you have to have some methodology for attracting consistent customer traffic.
Okay. Okay, we might come back to that, what I was just thinking. So execution is not the main thing, it's the only thing. Boy, I loved it when I read that. Tell us about that.
And execution is not, executing someone. It's just carrying out.
No, it's
your work.
doing what you plan to.
Yeah, I showed that to somebody before, and they said execution.
Yeah.
But execute. You know, people get creative and they get innovative.
Yeah.
And you can be rewarded for innovation, but execution is worshipped. So people want someone or a company that's going to drive results. You know, are you getting results? So for our company, Mitech, we want to deliver for our customers. We want to solve a specific problem, for example, for our customers. And at the end of the day, all the client wants to know is, did you deliver?
Right.
Did you solve my problem? You know, we may have great ideas, we may have a great logo and great presentation, but if we didn't solve your problem, if we didn't execute, it doesn't matter.
Right.
So you know, even my wife married me, I believe, because I can execute. You know, I can get up and go to work, and I can take care of home and provide. So every area of your life is really about execution.
I think we need to talk more about that.
Yeah.
And so, why don't we go ahead and take a break?
Sure.
And then we'll be right back and talk more.
Awesome.
Awesome. We'll be right back.